I'm Pam Popper, and my company, Wellness Form Health, has been in business for 24 years. And what we specialize in is informed medical decision making. Great lead-in for what I have to say. It has bothered me for a long, long time that you are required, the government requires that you have more information about a mortgage document than about healthcare treatment. You know, people go to jail for misrepresenting the interest rate on a mortgage. And people can lie to you, sometimes inadvertently, about treatment for something serious like cancer, and it's called the standard of care, the community standard of care. And so I have enjoyed my 24 years of work working with people who have all kinds of conditions, but the cancer patient is in a totally different situation than any other disease that we deal with in our office. And I'll tell you what that is. When somebody comes to our office, there are two or three things that make it different. When somebody comes to our office and comes to one of our dinners and they listen to what I or one of my staff have to say, and the person's sort of heading toward diabetes and says, I don't know, I think I'm just going to keep eating, drinking, and being merry. I don't really believe what she says. And then a year later, they find out that we were really right. They come back, we teach them how to reverse their diabetes with diet. No harm, no foul. 99% of the time, it turns out okay anyway. So the person may have, what we call it, drinking the medical Kool-Aid, believe their doctor, metformin is a good idea, whatever. But actually, a year of not doing the right thing, you can still recover. The cancer patient comes in, on the other hand, even at an early stage cancer, and says, well, I don't know, I'm kind of sketchy on this, not traditional medicine, blah, blah, blah. Goes back to the university medical center, agrees to the treatment, and how they find out it's not working is when the cancer comes back, and it usually does. Now the body is weakened from the treatment, and the cancer is worse. And this is not the time to be doing informed medical decision making. That needs to be backed up to the beginning, because that person, unlike the diabetic, unlike the person with high cholesterol, unlike the person who was just overweight or had lupus or something like that, they don't get the do-over. It doesn't come out okay. So that's the first thing that makes it different. The importance of the decision being right now has a level of urgency that we just don't have to deal with so much with other diseases. There's another thing that's important too. And you mentioned the doctors kind of shoving people into treatment. Today's Friday, you've been diagnosed. Monday, we'll take it out. Tuesday, you start something. So the doctors put a lot of pressure. They're not required to disclose the efficacy rates of their treatment. We help people demand it from their doctors, and they're shocked sometimes when they do get it, because it'll say, reduces your risk of recurrence, for example, by 2% and kills most people. I mean, it's unbelievable when you start looking at this on paper. But what happens in addition to the pressure from the doctor is the family members who are drinking medical Kool-Aid believe that this guy who graduated from Harvard at the medical center, you better listen to him because he or her. They know what they're doing. And so the family joins forces with the doctor to put the person has cancer. My gosh, they're barely functioning because of the shock of the whole thing. And now they've got their family, their friends, and a high-powered oncologist saying, I've had people tell me, my spouse has threatened to divorce me if I will not have this treatment. And so this is a horrific set of circumstances, and people need a team, and they need, as you said, information to make decisions. And believe it or not, the hardest thing that we have to deal with when we're helping people like this is giving them language and role-playing so they can get their family members to back off just long enough to think. Just, we'll share all the information with you, won't make a decision without your input. I just want to take a few weeks to figure out what's going on. And even at that, sometimes it doesn't get everybody to back off. So my point in all of this is that the people who are abused the most in the system are the cancer patients, because they have everything to lose and they have very little time to figure out really what to do. They need to do something right away. And the pressure from everybody in their life, it's like on steroids compared to everything else. You decide not to take metformin, nobody's threatening you with divorce. You decide you're not going to have your breast amputated or have chemotherapy, and your husband's saying, if you're going to kill yourself, I'm not going to stay here and watch you do it. We've had this happen. Yeah. So anyway, my goal, by the way, just so you know, is one of these days it will be a federal criminal offense in the United States to not properly inform patients of their risks and options, just like it is in the mortgage business. And one of these days we're going to get that done. Thank you. Wow.